Hello and welcome. My name is Matthew from kiwichess.blogspot.com. Today I will be presenting Game 3 from the World Championship match in Bonn, Germany between Anand-Kramnik and Viswanathan Anand. After two tense draws in Games 1 and Games 2, we reach Game 3 where we had an exciting fight take place. Kramnik is white, Anand is black, d4, d5, and we have a Slav. Let's see, 3, e6. Bishop g5 is, of course, a popular move at the top grandmaster level, but Kramnik chooses the perhaps more solid e3. 5, knight bd7, bishop d3, d takes c4, bishop takes c4, b5. So we have a semi-Slav Moran variation. In 2006, in the Kramnik-Topolov match in Elista, Kramnik chose bishop e2 here in the fourth rapid playoff game, which was essentially the decider, because Kramnik had a 1-point advantage coming into this game. And I'll just show you the critical position where Topolov would be defending a pawn down for a few moves and plays rook c5 here, and was to lose after rook b7 check. Rook takes b7, rook takes c5 check, and Kramnik went on to take the title and unify the FIDE and classical world titles. But in this game, Kramnik chooses 8, bishop d3, a6. Possibly a more solid alternative is bishop b7, but a6, e4, c5. Black attacks white's centre immediately. e5, c takes d4. Now knight takes b5. This stunning move is now a major part of theory, because after e takes f6, d takes c3, black is doing fine. So knight takes b5. Here black has a possibility of knight takes e5, which Kasparov himself has used, but Anand chooses a takes b5. E takes f6, g takes f6, and 13 castles by Kramnik. Now, knight takes d4 is a possible move, but probably much too risky. It's better just to get the king into safety. So castles, queen b6 protecting the pawn, queen e2, and here is where Anand dropped the first real novelty of the match, bishop b7. Normally we would see bishop a6 or b4. An interesting game that I found was a game between Gelfand and Shirov from Linares 97, where after bishop a6 the game continued rook d1, and Shirov played in similar style to the game we will be analysing further. So perhaps this is where Anand's team came up with the inspiration, or got the inspiration for the novelty. But after rook takes d4, Shirov chooses a queen sacrifice, queen takes d4. Because the pressure, discovered pin is extremely nasty, and in fact forces white to sacrifice a queen to play for anything more than a draw. but the game ended in a draw after 44 moves. So if we go back to the position after Anand's novelty, 14, bishop b7, Kramnik chose probably the critical move, just to grab the pawn on b5. Because normally what the moves that black has chosen is bishop a6 to defend or b4 to push. So bishop b7, Kramnik takes the pawn, bishop d6. Black's pieces are looking extremely active, and king safety will play an important role in the coming moves. Rook d1, lining up on the d pawn, rook g8, and then starts his action on white's king, g3. This move does weaken the white squares, but it takes a lot of pressure off the g file from the rook. Rook g4, defending the pawn, and here, and then came out with a stunning move, bishop f4, sacrificing a piece. Certainly not a move one would expect from Kramnik. Other possible moves were a4 or b4, because bishop cannot take on b4 because of rook b1. If the bishop moves away, of course the queen is lost to the rook. But Kramnik chose the stunning bishop f4, sacrificing a piece, and then of course must take, and knight takes d4, unleashing an attack on the rook. So h5, defend the rook, and knight takes e6. Another bomb, it seems, from Kramnik. But of course, after f takes e6, the knight on d7 is gone. Now the threat of the discovered check once the rook moves forces the king to move. Now queen d3, threatening to come into h7. Now here bishop c8 may have come to Anand's attention, but after rook h7, threatening rook h7, rook h8 and queen h7 with a mate, so king g8 to avoid this. Rook e7, threatening again the queen to come in on h7 with a mate along the 7th rank. f5 blocks the queen off. Rook d1, threatening mate on the d8 square, so king f8. Now rook e8 check, king f7, queen c3, threatening a piece on c8. Now black is best advised just to ignore that threat and play bishop takes g3. And after h takes g3, h4, because if white wants to grab that piece, he loses to rook takes g3 check. Because of the pin on the f pawn, the queen is lost. So, of course, white wouldn't play that. White will play rook takes c8. White will play rook f8 check, sacrificing a rook instead of capturing a free piece. So black takes, queen f6 check, king g8, and rook d8 check. This is the point. Black must give up the queen, otherwise king h7, rook h8 mate. So queen takes d8, queen takes d8, king h7, queen e7 check, king h6, and white has a clear advantage in this position. But if we go back to the game, Anand chose a stronger move and rook g7, sacrificing the piece back to create his own attacking chances. Because after rook takes g7, king takes g7, gf4,